Welcome into Rogue Football. I'm your host, Jordan DeLugo. Fired up today. We've got a Chicago Bears 7-round mock draft. The Bears currently hold the top pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, thanks to the Carolina Panthers. They have almost $50 million in cap space as well, $46 million according to overthecap.com. Let's say in free agency, they have some fun. They go get another edge rusher to pair with Montez Sweat. Obviously, they have some pieces up front, some building blocks, but I think you go get another starting edge to pair with Montez Sweat. That helps you out a lot. I think you go get a center maybe somebody like Andre James, Lloyd Cushenberry, Connor Williams even. He is coming off the ACL in week 14, so potentially some value to be had there. You work on improving a couple other spots throughout the roster, but overall, this is not a roster that is bereft of talent. I think they've got some good pieces to work with. Maybe you bring back your star cornerback, obviously. Trade Justin Fields. I have them doing it. I have them trading Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons for a second-round pick. I think the Falcons and Justin Fields are a team and player fit that makes a lot of sense for 2024 and beyond. And now that Cliff Kingsbury, who has worked with Caleb Williams, is the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, maybe they want to go up and get Caleb Williams, right? I like that. I like the sound of that if I'm the Chicago Bears as well. Trade down to second overall, and you get your quarterback, Drake May. You pick up the second pick, obviously, Drake May, a second rounder, and a third rounder to move down one spot and still get a guy that you like. No, Ryan Poles is not helmet scouting. He's not scared of what happened with the North Carolina quarterback going to the Bears several years back. Drake May is an awesome prospect. He's got the prototypical size, weight, arm talent, playmaking ability with his legs. He has everything, in my opinion, that most of the top quarterbacks in the NFL have. Again, that athleticism, the playmaking ability, the creation ability off platform, the size, the superlative arm. I'm a huge fan of what Drake May brings to the table. You're able to go get him with the second overall pick. You still have the 9th pick. You use some of the capital that you got from trading back with the Commanders. You move up back to 4. And this is the type of strategy that I could see Ryan Poles employing. This is a very smart football mind. This is a really, really smart GM, in my opinion, in Ryan Poles. I think he has the potential to pull off the type of draft day that changes this franchise for a very long time. And in doing so, you're trading your 9th pick, a second round pick, and one of your extra 4th round picks to go up to 4 overall with the Arizona Cardinals and select Marvin Harrison Jr. Now you have your quarterback of the present and the future in Drake May, and you have, in my opinion, the best player in this class, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. You've got your quarterback. You've got 2 number 1 receivers for him to throw it to, Marvin Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore. I mean, that's pretty exciting stuff right there. 2nd and 4th overall picks to the Chicago Bears. I think that when you look at this, it's not exactly the same as what the Texans did last year, but it's similar. And obviously, you're getting a wide receiver instead of an edge. But man, Drake May with Marvin Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore, a pretty good offensive line. Again, I said you upgrade at center. I think you could be cooking. I think you could really be cooking in Chicago. Whether you roll with the running backs you have or bring in another running back, that could be awesome. So that's what I have the Bears doing right now. Again, I think Ryan Poles has the wherewithal to pull something off like this. Then at 43 overall, your pick from ATL. I mentioned you brought in a veteran edge, but I think you go get even another edge here. In the second round, I think there's some potential value here. I have Adisa Isaac coming off the board to the Chicago Bears, edge out of Penn State. He just dominated the Senior Bowl. He's 250 pounds, 6'4", has long arms, great athlete. The awesome thing about him is even though he's only 250, you think, well, is he just kind of like a designated pass rusher type? No. He has a really good base down skill set. He's a really good run defender. And he has a budding pass rush skill set. I think Adisa Isaac would be a really good fit for the Chicago Bears at 43 overall. Next pick is at 75 overall. The Bears, not a ton of needs, real needs at this point, but I have them addressing the safety / nickel spot, right? There's a good chance it seems like they might move on from Eddie Jackson. I have them taking Javon Bullard, a guy who, again, a nickel player who can do some safety things for you, do some slot cornerback things for you, a very good tackler, a very good coverage player, really smart football player at the University of Georgia. He had himself a very good week at the Senior Bowl as well. I think he just kind of steadies things up a little bit more for you on your second level in terms of when he's in nickel and third level as a safety. I would really like that fit for them. Pair him with Jaquan Brisker, pair him with some of those young corners you have. I think that could be a step in the right direction for that secondary in a big way. Next up, we have Brandon Coleman at 100 overall, the TCU offensive lineman. He played a lot of left tackle for them, also played some left guard. Watching him at the Senior Bowl and just watching his tape, I always got the vibe that he's going to kick inside and play guard at the next level. He has the length and the size to play tackle. I don't think he has the quick feet to mirror movements at an extremely high level on the edge, on an island, right? But I think you kick him inside to guard, he's able to use his length, and he is a pretty good explosive athlete. I just don't think he has the foot quickness and redirection, again, to play on an island out there. But you get him inside at guard, he uses that strength and length to keep defenders at bay. I think he can move now in a straight line. He can get to the second level for you. I think whether he ends up becoming a starter on the interior for you or just quality depth or just a player that you can play tackle in a pinch, play guard in a pinch, you're not going to get through the whole season with your starting five. That's not how it works in the NFL most of the time. So I think Brandon Coleman is just a good value at this spot for them. And then at 110 overall, this is a team that has invested heavily in the linebacker position, off-ball linebacker. They have two really good guys. I think they could potentially find a value here at off-ball linebacker with a player who is much more talented than this draft range and draft slot would suggest. But there's been injury concerns, lots of injury concerns for NC State linebacker Peyton Wilson. This is the type of guy who he screams NFL starter at linebacker. Really good athlete, really good tackler, playmaker, instinctive. Probably should be a second round pick if you're taking away, or maybe even a first rounder, if you're taking away the question marks, which again are mainly just due to injury. Peyton Wilson would be fantastic for them as a guy who can come in and be your third linebacker, develop, learn a lot from the two guys in front of him. And if he can stay healthy, he potentially represents a massive value for you and a future starter. I would really like that if I'm the Chicago Bears. And then at 142, the last pick that they have available to them in the draft after all this moving up and down and landing Drake May and Marvin Harrison, we go get a corner. The Chicago Bears defense is primarily a zone-heavy defense, right? So bring in Cam Hart out of Notre Dame. I don't think he projects very well in man coverage, kind of like Brandon Coleman out at tackle. Cam Hart doesn't really have the foot quickness and redirection to mirror movements in man coverage. But as a zone defender, he is physical, he is smart, he has very good length. When he gets his eyes in the backfield and is just watching the quarterback, he can use his physical ability to be a very good player at the next level, in my opinion. And so now you have another player that can develop under the guys you have and eventually become a starter down the road. I would love this draft for the Chicago Bears. And again, I really do respect Ryan Poles. I think that what he has shown as their GM, I do believe that they could pull off a draft like this, where they move back, get great value by trading back with the Commanders who just covet Caleb Williams potentially, right? And then move back up the board because you really want to go get the best player in this draft, Marvin Harrison Jr., and get Drake May, your new quarterback, maybe the best receiver duo in the league, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., he's big, he's strong, he's fast. He wins down the field. He wins at all three levels. DJ Moore does the same thing. He can win at all three levels for you. You have two dynamic outside receivers. You're able to also upgrade your edge rush, upgrade your secondary, upgrade your interior offensive line, not only through free agency, as I mentioned, but in the draft. I like a lot of what this represents for the Chicago Bears and their future moving forward. And I think that they could be a competitive football team with this group in 2024. Excited to see how it plays out for them. If you're a Bears fan, if you're an NFL fan, please let me know what you think in the comment section below about this Bears 7-round mock draft. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.